Work takes up so much of our lives.
So, do you take work home mentally or physically?
That's why mental health at work really matters.
So, from small actions to big changes, and the part we all do.
Welcome back to the Life, Work, and Health podcast. I'm Shayna,
I'm Navjot.
and
Let's
let's
change
change
work.
work. So today, we are talking about mental health in the workplace and different initiatives that you can do as an individual and then as an employer, as well as managers and supervisors and everyone in between, and how you can all work together to better your workplace. So we'll talk about the small things first, then we'll go to the big things, and then we'll talk about the part each of them plays.
And it's really important to have that changes at work because we spend most of our time at work. Like we spend less time at our home, we spend more time at work. So it's really important to be having that comfort zone in the work and being able to mentally or physically do work what we are supposed to do. So it's really important to take initiative. So we'll talk about that today.
Absolutely. And that was a piece of advice I was given a few years ago about we spend so much time at work, you have to enjoy what you do. And then you have to find little things in between to help. So we're going to start with those little things first. So these are different things that will help with mental health, but will also help physically as well, as we've talked about in our podcast before, that interconnectedness between mental health and physical health. So the very first one we're talking about here is body breaks or brain breaks. So we do have our scheduled breaks. We talked about this one in a different podcast as well. You do have scheduled breaks. So you have, usually, depending how long you work, but usually you have 2 15s and a 30-minute, which are great, but then you have to think about there's a long period in between each of those, and it's usually hours in between, that your body still needs that break because we're not meant to do things for a very long period of time without a break.
And we also talked about like that break is not just important mentally, it's also important physically if we are doing like physical work or if we are doing just a sitting job. So it's really important to take that 15-minute break or 30-minute break and use it to something good. It could be just stretching, relaxing your mind, listening to music, or just doing nothing.
And you can get things on if you have a smartwatch or your phone or things like that to send you a notification to remind you it's time to stand up and do a stretch or things like that to help with your body and having that break.
And next thing, like this could be more like a employer thing to do. It's like having team days. It could be any day, like could be Fridays, Tuesdays. Like at my workplace, we do power ups every day. We don't call them team meetings. We call them power up because like we're trying to boost everyone's energy. And we do like a game every Tuesday. Like it could be any small game. It could be beanbag toss, bowling, or like some fun game that the staff gets included in and they get small prizes, like the winners get small prizes. And it's so good to see them motivated while the game, like, and people come to me and ask me, oh, what's the game for this week? And they are so excited to have those games.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's a big morale boost, is having something to look forward to at work.
Yeah.
So even if it isn't that you do the power-ups, if it's then doing, a game every Tuesday, maybe it's you dress up every Friday, maybe it's pajama day, or maybe wacky hair day, different things like that people can get excited about, and having that come into the workplace is great. So the next one is a quiet zone or room. So this is something that also is called a calming corner, for example. And what you can do with that is you will have a space that's designated that if somebody is feeling overwhelmed or they need just a moment to have a quick little break, you can create this space for people to go to so that they know this is a space that I can just take a moment to decompress, to have a quick reset within my mind or within my body.
And I think I don't remember, like it's Google or Microsoft, they have like nap rooms, just like a pods.
I think
like,
it's Google.
Yeah, so like you can spend 20 minutes in there and just like it closes itself, it's soundproof so you won't hear any sound and you can relax there, or you could take a power nap.
And even if you don't have the budget for that, right, because we understand Google is a very big business, it doesn't mean that you still can't have, a little space, a little room available somewhere that people can go just especially if they're having a hard time, they need a moment to cope with some sort of emotion that they're experiencing. It just gives that safe space.
And like naming that room like a funny way instead of
Mm-hmm.
just like some serious name, give it like a fun name so that employees like are motivated to go to that room. Like don't name it quiet room.
Yes, yeah, because then it's like, oh, so and so's going to the quiet room. You
Yeah.
know what that means.
And the next one we can do like mental surveys about how things are working with the staff members, how are they getting burnt out of things, like, and it could be quarterly or it could be like every month or something, so that like we know what help we can do to the employees and what employer can do on their part to provide like mental health resources or provide like motivation or something, like, and it's really important to have that with employees as well.
Definitely. And I know for myself in the classroom and depending the age range that I'm working with, but I always like to do a check-in, and it's just ranking yourself 1 to 10 how you're feeling that day. So even if you're not wanting to do that monthly
Yeah.
initiative, which I think would be really great if they did, but let's say we need an alternative, you could just do a quick check-in at a meeting that you're having, go around the room, hey, can everyone rank themselves 1 to 10? But keeping in mind that not everyone might be honest in that
Yeah.
time, especially because they don't want to talk about it if they're feeling very overwhelmed. So then that would be nice to have that anonymous part of it where you're doing it online, for example, monthly.
And it's also like we can also sense if something's wrong with someone and we can call them privately and check in with them.
Yes, exactly. And the next one is actually having a trained professional come in. So something like Reiki would be great, where you're having a professional come in that specializes in that specific thing. And it could be monthly that you're having them come in to do an employee wellness time.
Yeah.
And that can be just a dedicated, whatever it is, an hour, for example, once a month, where everybody can go in, and maybe you have a couple different time blocks. Let's say you can't have everyone at the exact same time because of operations of your workplace.
Yeah.
Then it could be, okay, you have 2 different 1-hour sessions so people can go to either of them.
And it could be different things as well, like pet therapy does work. Like usually when the pet therapist comes like once a week or bi-weekly, they like staff gets so energized seeing the dog around, and we could do like different like massage therapy or something that we can offer to the employees.
Absolutely.
So the next part is like having flexible breaks or flexible seating in this staff area. Like flexible breaks could be, we know, like while working in long-term care and a retirement home, like you have to be certain about your breaks, but if something happens, like you have to run from your break and go back to the residence because that's the first priority. But like we can ask someone else or like someone else, management team or someone to step in, and that time, like if we have a break and if we are going to help some residents, we can do another break and different times. So but like obviously informing your management what's happening, so that they know if you took a break and you had to cut your break short to help someone, because it can be like it can happen anytime. And like with seatings at the staffing area, we could have bean bags, we could have like lazy boy chairs so that they can just relax and have some music, or even having a television with like a movie going around during the staff time. That'll really help the staff as well.
Yeah, it just creates that break for your mind as well, and it gives flexible seating where maybe one day you're like, I just need to lounge in a beanbag chair, and if you have that option, it's nice so that you can have that time. And then the next one is a wellness newsletter. So this is something that I've done at a couple workplaces that I've been in, where whether it's weekly or monthly, whatever you want it to be, you have this newsletter of different things. So it could be different activities. So it could be word searches, crosswords, Sudoku. It could be different like meditations that you could do, things like that are just somebody can do it on their own time. Maybe they want to do it on their break. I know for a lot of the people that I worked with, they said, on my break, I did whatever it is. I did this or I did that. And they would always say, I always look forward to this because it gives me something to do. It gives me that break.
And we can also add like monthly things that will happen next month. Like if somebody has having a bus trip, or if they are going to have a campfire or something, they can put it on that, so that staff is also excited to get to that thing, or if they want to come, they can sign up for that. So it's like another motivation factor for them, that they look forward to things in the newsletter.
Yeah, definitely.
And we can also have like monthly potlucks. It could be having just staff getting different foods and trying different foods together, or it could be just a snack. It doesn't have to be a whole meal.
Mhm.
Just like, so we try different cultures and different communities, and everyone gets together to talk and have fun, just like for even for an hour. It'll be really fun for the staff.
Yeah, I remember actually you did that for the college staff.
Yeah.
It was his kind of send off when you were graduating,
Yeah.
that you had planned this potluck for the staff. And I remember how excited everybody was for
Yeah.
that potluck because one, food,
Yeah.
love it, right? Different kinds of foods. But then also there was games and it was just fun. It was something that was fun. It was exciting. Everyone had that to look forward to.
Yeah.
And it's just a good team community building thing as well.
And I think we could do like while we're having the podcast, we could do trivias, we could do like small games like beanbag toss, similar to like we do like weekly. We can do different things and that, and have some small prizes for the staff. Like it gives one more thing to look forward to.
Yeah, and the prizes don't have to be big. If you win a chocolate bar, I'd be pumped, right? You get a chocolate bar, you're like, yeah, I won it, right?
Yeah.
Then the next one is peer-led groups or clubs. So this is where just being able to connect with other people that you work with is really important, but then it's also nice to just have that time to be able to lean on each other, build that community with each other of, hey, this thing happened or that thing happened, because who understands you better than people that are in the same situation? And maybe there was something that happened at work and you're having difficulty coping.
Yeah.
You have, a peer-led group that meets weekly or monthly or whatever it is, or even just having some sort of club. I know a lot of different places as well will have team sports, so soccer or softball or things like that, which are great as well, that everybody can participate together and connect with each other.
And they like this thing is more like employer side. They could have like policy of not working overtime or not like forcing any staff to do overtime. We understand like it could be like the staff wants overtime because of the financial situations. That's a different thing. But like the employer must not force someone to do overtime just because they cannot get a person on that time, because their poor scheduling, like scheduling ideas, it lies on the employees to do overtime because they cannot get someone that time.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's also having a really strong policy about after hours work
Yeah.
and not allowing that. I remember one place that I worked, they were very strict on that they're like, you do not check your email after
Yeah.
hours. You do not do anything after hours, because they were very focused on that wellness piece of not wanting people to be on their email or doing different things after that time frame.
Like I remember one of my managers, like whenever she used to message, because she used to work different hours, she used to always write like one line at the end of the email that my working hours might be different than yours, so I don't expect the reply instantly.
Yeah.
So you can reply when you start working. Like
Yeah.
that was a really good thing. Like she doesn't force you to reply at the same time. Like you can reply whenever you start working.
Yeah, which is huge. And then naming things that are a bit more monotonous, fun things. So Navjot had actually mentioned earlier about Power Up,
Yeah.
right? Instead of calling it a team meeting, you could name it something interesting or casual or funny. And it's just something in the workplace to help people feel a bit more excited about something or a bit more relaxed. Because I know if it's like, oh, you have to schedule a meeting with your manager and you're thinking, what did I do?
Yeah.
Why do I have to, what's going on in this meeting? So if you're calling it something different, then it'll alleviate that anxiety a bit. It's still going to be a meeting with your manager or
Yeah.
a team meeting or whatever it is, but you're naming it something different so that it helps people to feel calmer and to feel more interested and connected to that. With that as well, at the beginning or at the end of a meeting, you could also make sure to do something. So like you were saying at your power-ups, that you do a game of some sort, right?
Yeah.
So when you start it and end it the same way, it provides that predictability and that comfort for people so they know what to expect in between.
And I think during these type of meeting, it's the best time to recognize a staff, like if they are doing something over the board or they are doing something really good. It's really good time to give them motivation, give them like a small award, or like it could be anything. Like it doesn't have to be like a physical thing. It could be even if you are like calling them out or giving them a shout out that this person did a really fantastic job, they will feel recognized and they will feel appreciated because you're appreciating in front of all the staff. And we could give like a small, maybe Tim Hortons gift card, or like even like a extra coffee and donut from Tim Hortons. I think it'll be really motivating for the staff.
Yeah, I had a coworker I remember a couple years ago when I was working somewhere, and they said they used to have Appreciation Fridays.
Yeah.
And she said that that was one of the biggest things she missed from her previous job, was that people were getting a shout out, right? It's something that people are excited about. They're getting recognized and appreciated for something. And I feel we don't appreciate people enough. We don't say very often that, hey, you're doing a great job. So I think it's very easy to do. And like you said, you could have something very small, or it could even just be giving them a certificate of some sort. Just that recognition, that verbal in front of everyone. Hey, notice this person doing this specific thing. Great job. Here's your, shout out.
I just want to add like one thing for the employees side of thing. Like we understand that employees do a lot of work, but like this appreciation should always come like when they are doing something that they are not supposed to do, or they are like doing something over the board, rather than like just doing their job duties. Like we have to make that difference. Like, is it part of my job duties that I'm doing, or I'm doing something nice or something overboard than like something out of the box? Then I should get appreciation. We should not expect appreciation when we are just fulfilling our job duties.
Yeah. And it still is like a quick little thank you for doing your job as well as helpful, right? It doesn't have to be that big appreciation type thing, but even just a, hey, thank you, or a good job, high five, thumbs up, a smile, whatever, just to acknowledge that somebody's doing something. And so all of these things are small things that we were going to talk about, and they're actually quite easy to do, and it can be from a lot of different angles of different people that can do it. It doesn't take much time.
So now we'll be talking about the employer side of thing, or like the workplace, like big things that they can do to incorporate wellness checks or mental health checks on the workplace. It could be it could start with like workplace should incorporate like something nutrition related, or recipes, or something like I've worked in one of the workplace where they used to have like nutritional bars or like healthy snacks. Instead of like having chips and Coke and anything, they had like healthy juices, like fresh juices in small bottles, so that staff can have them anytime. And I think it's really good to like motivate them to get healthy foods. And even the vending machines, they put all the healthy snacks there. No chips, no sodas, no chocolate bar. It was all healthy stuff.
Yeah, and I think it's really important because a lot of people will always say like, I don't know anything about nutrition, because if you're not taught about nutrition, or you don't seek out that information yourself, then you're never going to know. And so there's a lot of people that are not even just young adults, but adults in general, who don't know how to make food. They don't know how to eat healthy or right, or how to maintain that healthy weight through their diet. So when you have a workplace that's doing that, it's now helping them to fuel their body, right? Because if you don't fuel your body properly, then anything else that you do doesn't really matter anymore, because you're not giving your body the basic thing that it needs first.
And also like healthy food it's just not like all salad and everything. It could be so much stuff. Like it could taste really good if the workplace can also provide recipes, like so that they can try new recipes at even at workplace or at home, that the employees can try, and if they like it, they can use that as a regular thing for them.
Yeah, and it can be from businesses that offer them that. It could be from the employer themselves, or you could create a recipe book every month from staff. Maybe there's something that staff are like, hey, this is a really healthy thing that I like to make. And it can help that now other people are involved, people are more excited about it, that kind of thing. And this kind of stemmed from Honda specifically, because my partner and his dad both worked at Honda, and they have a lot of stuff at Honda surrounding wellness. So they actually have different types of sports and stuff, but they have a recreation center at the Honda plant. They also have a cafeteria with really good food, and they're offering so many different things at Honda just specifically there. You don't even have to leave the premise, because wellness is so important for them as a company, for their employees. And it's something that I've heard anyone that I've talked to have raved about at Honda specifically, because it's something that you don't really get other places. And so it should be something that becomes more widespread. Now, obviously, there isn't the feasibility of just being able to build your own recreation center, but you can also just even dedicate a room to wellness, right? Having a wellness room of some sort, and you could have different things in there. And it's just trying to figure out how you can offer somewhat similar, and Honda is a good example to look at to see what they offer to kind of base your tactics with wellness off of that.
And like when we talk about wellness room, like some places might have like gyms on site. Some places they don't have like any gym equipments or anything. They could offer like gym membership discounts. They can tie up with the local gym which is closest to the workplace, and they can give like discounts to the employees so that they are motivated to go to the gym. And like they could have small challenges, like whoever does this many exercises, or like they sign in the gym, like, or they go to the gym this many days, they'll get small prize, like just to motivate them more to like be more on the healthier side, because we know that physical health is very important for mental health, as we talked in our previous videos. Because physical, like when you're not well physically, your mental health will go down really fast.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's a good thing, like having some sort of challenge, because a lot of people are naturally competitive at heart. So it could be things like you said, how many days of the week you go to the gym, or maybe it's how many steps you take in a month.
Yeah.
And it could also be, it doesn't have to be a prize in the sense of you are physically given something. It could also be a paid day off, right?
Yeah.
Having some like one day that you're paid that isn't towards your vacation or your sick time or your personal days or anything like that. It's just a day that you can have as that extra, I did this, and have it once a month. And that could be something that'd be really helpful as well.
And also, like when we do monthly challenges, it doesn't have to be really big challenge. It could be just a small challenge, like you showed up to work on time, or you showed up like in gym every day or something. Because I've been to a gym before, and they had like this member like board where they give like small benefits to the people who showed up the gym most. They give like one day of free training, or one day of like spa treatment or something on the gym, like on the house to them.
Yeah, and I think that would be really helpful to just add that extra motivation in.
Yeah. As we know that most of the workplaces, they offer like benefit programs, like it could be through insurances or different stuff. Even from like if the workplace is unionized, the union also provides different healthcare coverages. So like people can go to chiropractors, go to massage therapists, even like they have like some just Zen centers they can go to and just relax or do spa treatments. And that's really important for like employees to look forward to, because if I, like for example, if I'm an employee, if I have to pay for those things, I would never go. But if I'm getting it for free, I might like just try it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that workplaces, they very much focus on obviously dental and medication, which is very important and should stay, but I think there should be more offering of naturopath or osteopath or chiropractor, massage, acupuncture, things like that, because those are also really helpful. But then it would be helpful to also have a session on it. So having a professional come in that is an osteopath, or that is, a acupuncturist, or whomever it is, and having them explain the benefits of it. Because a lot of people, they don't know what certain things are because they're a complementary or alternative medicine, depending on who you talk to. But I like to say they're complementary because it should go hand in hand. And that's something that if they have that session being offered to them of here's what I do, here's how I can help you, they're more inclined to look for those natural ways of healing.
And like we can also offer like staff to have a volunteer day. That could be a paid day that they'll get paid for that, and they do some volunteering. It could be like at a homeless shelter, even at Salvation Army, or any small place they want to volunteer their time. And they don't have to do like physical stuff. It could be just talking to them and just providing their time to do some volunteering. It will motivate them to connect with more people and like give back to the community.
Yeah, and that feeds into our purpose and our meaning when we volunteer, right? And I think that's something, I had a friend actually who works somewhere that they have this, and she was so excited for that day that she went to go volunteer somewhere because it broke up her work day, right? She was able to go somewhere else for the day, but she was also paid, so it takes away that stress. but then it's also giving back to the community. And when we, as employers or workplaces want that, to have employees that are giving back to the community, but it also just helps to create that greater sense of purpose or meaning.
Yeah.
And the last thing we're talking about here is having financial literacy workshops. A lot of people don't know how to budget or save or invest. And again, if you're not taught it, then you don't know. So having somebody come in, even if it's just once a month, to give a topic of budgeting and how to create a spreadsheet on budgeting or a way to save, and maybe having different ways that people can strategically save or invest.
And like it could be small, like as you said, like it could be just an Excel sheet. They can put their like expenses and they can manage their budget, and it could be like something investment for long-term purposes so that they can start investing. And because financial literacy is really important these days, like if you're not saving or if you're not able to save our money and invest it somewhere, I think we will not be able to like compete with the inflation.
Definitely. So having any of these different things as an employer or a workplace are just going to boost that morale significantly. And when somebody feels good at work, they're more likely to do more at work as well, right? So it is a really good investment because you're investing in the people that are working for you, which is ultimately going to increase productivity as well.
And I think if like the employers are not like providing that good environment to employees, they will like lose the employees so fast, because the employee will find some place else to get better in work environment, better work, like better pay or anything, because sometimes pay doesn't matter, the environment matters more.
Yeah, and that's something I always taught when I was talking about field placement in workplaces. And I would always give the option to everyone in the class. I would say to them, okay, would you rather make, let's say, $55,000 to $60,000 a year at a place that you love going to every day? There's staff appreciation, there's different benefits and perks that go with it, and you love going there every single day? Or would you rather make $100,000 a year but hate your job, get yelled at all the time, belittled, and feel terrible and never want to go there? Which would you choose? And always everyone would say, I would take the less money, better environment, because that's really important, right? Having that better environment is more important than money, because your mental and physical health is so much more than a dollar sign.
Yeah.
So the last part we're talking about here is really about the role that everybody plays, because everybody has a role in making the workplace a good place to be. And so we're just going to highlight what you should do as an individual, as a team, and as an employer. And these are just some general guidelines to help to just identify what would really be my role in these different things that we talked about. So we're starting with as an individual first. So this is making sure that you're taking those movement breaks and those mental breaks, because it's great if your employer offers that and you're able to do that, but if you don't take it, then it doesn't really matter.
And the next point is like practicing mindful techniques and stress relieving techniques. It could be small things. It doesn't have to be like really 1 hour session. It could be just 5 minutes, just controlling your breathing, or just stretching your arms or stretching your legs and going out, sitting in the nature. If you have a park or something at your workplace, just sitting there 5 minutes and just doing breathing exercise or anything that like helps you get the mental stress out. Like doing that is like it could help.
Yeah, and setting boundaries, making sure that you're creating those boundaries at work, right? We talked about this a couple videos ago about how you create the environment around you. And so if you're saying, this is my limit, or I'm not interested in this, or this is not something I want to do, or this is my specific boundary, it's going to help you to create that work-life balance. It's going to help create the boundaries that you need to be able to not take work home and to be able to feel well at work.
And I think the last point as an individual that you can do is like, if you feel that something is going out of the limit, don't be afraid to ask for help. Like, and I think accepting help is really important to being mentally well-being, like having that mental well-being. If you accept that you need help, and you could go to anyone, could be your manager, could be a guiding counselor at your work, or could be a union rep, like just talk to them, or it could be a friend as well. Just talk to them about the issues that you're having, like so that you can discuss. And if you know the problem, that I think half of the problem is already solved.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's such a big thing, like you said, is asking for help, because we all need it at some point or another. I ask for help all the time, and I always will be the first to say, I don't know something, because I would rather ask for help and be honest about it
Yeah.
than struggle with it, feel overwhelmed, like really overwhelm myself, really stress myself out, and then potentially do it wrong. So it's better to just ask for that support, because it is a strength. Asking for help is a strength, and not everyone can do it. So then we're going to jump into as a team. So as a team, you need to encourage each other to take those breaks. If you notice that somebody is working really hard, just having that moment of, hey, have you taken a little break yet today? And it could be, let's say we were working together and I go, you know what? I noticed that I have seen you really not take a break today. Why don't you go? I'll cover you for a little bit. I'll cover you. Go take a 5-minute break. Go for a walk. Go sit outside in nature, like you said as well.
And also, like, as a team, if we create that environment, like that someone feels comfortable to ask for help, that's a big thing as well. So we have to like normalize those conversation about mental health, and like making that environment for everyone, that if somebody, like, for say they need a help, they want to talk to someone, they don't feel hesitant to talk to you or any team member.
Definitely. And make sure to celebrate those small wins with each other and to show that appreciation, right? It is important that the appreciation comes from your employer, your workplace, but also from a team member. It feels nice when somebody in your team goes, hey, I noticed you went above and beyond today, or I noticed you did this or that. It just gives you that good feeling.
And that like really helps, like, because I've been in this place that where my work was not appreciated, and now I'm at a place that everybody appreciates my work, and it ties up with the validation video. Like, we don't want to look up for the validation, but if someone appreciates you, we should feel happy and proud about ourselves that we did something that it's meaningful to other people as well. And creating that supportive environment, like including the team, like, because in Canada specifically we have different cultures living together, we have like people from everywhere around the world, and it's really important to make them feel included. Like, I know, like, even I've felt like some places, I don't want to say it, but like it feels like sometimes I'm not being included in things because of my different race, but most of the places do a really good job to feel you included.
Yeah, definitely. And it just helps to overall create that good environment, like you're saying, with that normalizing conversations and making people feel included. It's huge. It is really huge. And then finally, as an employer, making sure that you're providing those wellness initiatives. So we provided a lot of different ideas today. Use them, right? Figure out what works for you within your budget, but making sure that you have things available for your employees.
And if possible, like, if we have, like, some places, I know, like, especially in rec therapy field, we cannot work from home, we have to be in the place. But in some places, like some IT sector or different sectors, if there is a flexibility to provide work from home, or like flexibility of hours, like, try to work around like the employee as well, so they feel more like they have some like say in their schedule as well.
Definitely. And make sure as that employer that you're doing those regular check-ins with staff. You need to know how your staff is feeling. There's been a lot of places that I've worked that, when I end up giving my notice, that they're very surprised. And it's, I had one that was like, oh, did we do something wrong? And I thought to myself, this was a very bad time to ask me now, because I've already decided to leave and I've already given my notice. I wish this conversation happened prior, right? 6 months prior or a year prior, when I was feeling that burnout, right? And it's making sure that you're just checking in to see how somebody is doing, because then you know what you need to do differently to better support that employee.
Like we can compare it to a relationship as well. Like, if you don't feel valued, if you don't feel like it is worth the effort, you will leave.
Yeah.
Like, and it'll be better for ourselves if we are leaving something. Then I think it's important for the employer to understand that employees also need attention while they are working there. It's not just, they are not just there to work like for the employer, they are also here to be as a family, or like workplace family, we could say.
Yes.
The next point we'll talk about is like making sure if we have the quiet spaces or the recreation spaces, all the employees are aware about it and they have access all the time. Like, especially during the work hours, they have access to those locations, and nobody judges them for going there, and no manager says like, oh, I saw you go there, what's happening? Like, there should be no follow-up questions if someone is using that space.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is understanding that there could be people that maybe overuse it.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, if they are overusing it, then maybe that is a time to check in to say, hey, Are you doing
Yeah.
okay? Can I better support you? Right? Just so that you're able to see like what is the reason that they're there. But if they're going there for 5 minutes once a day or once a week or whatever it is,
Yeah.
there's no conversation, like you said, there's no conversation that needs to happen here. And like you said, access all the time, not just at set times, or you're only allowed to use it if you ask for permission, right? If
Yeah.
you're creating those barriers, then people aren't going to use it. So then why do you even have it?
Yeah.
And our last one is making sure to train the leaders, the managers and the supervisors, the people that are working with the frontline staff, the people that are working day to day with people. They need to know how to recognize and support people in their mental health. If they have no idea how to support someone in their mental health, they're not going to be an effective leader. And it's something that is very often forgotten, or it's only done as a we have to type of thing, right? We do a training because we have to, but then they don't actually add in any other types of training or giving them that support so that they can better support the employees.
And it can happen because, as we talked last, like in our videos, that managers are also human. Like they don't have all the abilities to read all the emotions of everyone. But like if we get that training, it's really easy and really important to understand the employee side of things as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that is all that we have for you. So thanks for listening.
See you next time.